Right. What's the spring been like for you? What did you kind of want to improve on coming into it? And then I guess how has the transition gone with, I mean, you're a veteran now.
Yeah. Well, first of all, it's been a fun spring. It's been great. New energies. We had to adjust a little bit with a new coach coming in, but overall, I think the group did really well. We all took a liking to Coach Terry as soon as he stepped in the building. I think most of all, we all molded as a unit together, learning each other, because it is really like a new group in there. So just being able to go out there and just getting tight with each other this spring.
I know it was known that Coach Terry was going to come in for a while, but what's it like being coached by him? And I guess how much contact did you have with him before he even got here and kind of took over?
So I spoke to Coach Terry a few times. A lot of times it was just phone calls, just chopping it up with him. And we didn't really talk about football. I was just getting to know him. So that was like a big thing when he first came in. But also too, it's like you have no choice but to respect him where he comes from. He's coming from first thing he did, he showed me like his championship Super Bowl ring. So he showed me film of George Karlaftis, Chris Jones. You have no choice but to really respect it and be like, okay, if he was coaching these guys, it works, and things like that. So,
personality-wise, what's it like being coached by him? He seems, when he's been around us, he's just high energy. And
oh yeah, he's juiced up all the time. That switch is on, and when the song, you gotta have it. That's one of his main things he says. So,
what are some things he's brought to the room as far as technique and scheme that maybe you might be on the fence about, but he's got that cred like you're talking about?
Yeah, no, I mean I've never really questioned any of his techniques or anything like that, just because where he comes from, But pass rush, I thought he brought a lot to the table, just pass rush wise this spring. I feel like we took it up a notch. A lot of new drills that we never seen before. So that's one thing I wanted to work on a lot, and I told him from day one I was like, yeah, I want to get my pass rush better. So we sat down, he created a plan with everybody, and that's how he did that. So
is it individualized?
Yeah, he personalized. He was like, all right, what's your go-to move? So he was I had everybody pick a go-to move that they wanted to really perfect. And, that's one thing individualized. We worked on all spring was all right, what's your move? Get to it.
What's your move? Do you want to share that or maybe not?
Nah, not yet.
When you kind of look back at your year last year, I mean, did you feel like you had a successful year, or what did you kind of take away from that sophomore season and take into this year?
I definitely learned a lot my sophomore year. Just playing behind somebody, learned how to do that. Found a role. And sometimes good comes in the end, so just being able to be patient and stuff like that. And then now, time's up now, so I took as much as I could in last year. So that's one thing I really learned a lot last year.
What is that next step for you, for your season coming up? What's that next thing you're looking to improve on or do better?
Yeah. I'd say just less errors, less mental errors, getting at a point where I'm older now. So just being able to be more situationally sound, all right, cool, we're in the red zone, cage rush the quarterback, just things like that. That's the next step and stuff like that for me, I feel.
Coach Butler said third down defense was going to be a big emphasis this spring. You mentioned pass rush and things like that. I mean, was there a bigger emphasis, and did you feel that emphasis on third down and how important that is for the defense?
Yeah, I mean, third down is money down, so, we got to hit them with everything we got on that third down. So just being able to go out there, we got the packages. We have all the packages that we have out there, the different personnels and stuff like that. So, I feel like Coach Butler's done a great job scheming, put some schemes, the right packages, the right fits out there on third down and stuff like that.
What have you learned about your position group this spring? You guys are almost all the way through it now.
Yeah.
About your guys?
No, I like them a lot. Just molding together and stuff like that. The other day, I had a barbecue and I had all the guys over. Just being able to build that tight bond and just learning about each other. That's the biggest thing. But also, when you're out there, it's all right, cool, you got to know Keona, because it's I need to know how Keona rushes so I could, rush off him, or Judy, how Judy rushes, vice versa with everybody else in the group. So just being able to personally, know who you're out there with and be all right, cool. So that's why I feel you got to get connected with your position group and stuff like that.
Is that a thing? You always hear that with the offensive line where they say they're trying to have 5 as 1. Is there some of that on the defensive line as well, kind of knowing the guys that are working around?
Yeah, most definitely. It's because all right, cool. You might have a guy that likes to vertically rush, you know, like just hit the field. So you gotta be able to naturally rush off him. I'll be out there, I'll be next to Judy, and I see him. I'm like, all right, cool. I know what he's gonna do, so I could just naturally fit off him. You know, that just comes as, like you said, just bonding with him, getting to know him. Like, you know who he is, you know what he's gonna do. So
You guys lost a lot of experience in leadership in Nash and Ty. How have you seen the younger guys kind of step up into bigger roles, and who's taken over kind of as leaders in this group?
yeah, no, definitely Riley, Judy, Keona, myself, and a few other guys. You know, we definitely took a vital role, and then like, you know, like those guys aren't here no more. So just more like experience and stuff like that. Like, I'm able to help the guys, especially like younger guys or guys who just changed positions, like help them out a lot. And, you know, I was really close with Ty and Nash and stuff like that. So, you know, they definitely, like, gave me a lot of information and taught me a lot. So just being able to, like, all right, cool, I learned from them now. How can I apply it to people, like, younger than me or vice versa and stuff like that. So.
What do you think of Judy's cattle roping game?
Hey, I seen a couple videos last night. He's getting better. For sure.
Anything else for Cam?
Thanks, Cam.
Thank you.